Ado. We are back with our track by track listen through to the album Zanmu, and we are now on to the song All Night Radio. I like the name of this song. You know, I just something about the name of this song. I don't know whether it's going to be like Drive Time, where it's going to get all ASMR. I don't think it is, but you can imagine. And now for the people driving down the highway, it's time for some Ado. I don't think it's going to be like that, but maybe it will be. This has just come off the back of two pretty hype songs. We had Rebellion, which was full-on punk. Punk, but not just punk. It was like, but it had a punky energy to it. I'm a Controversy, which was cheeky, kind of electronic leaning, but super, super fun. You know, this is basically a high energy point in the album, and now we've got All Night Radio. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a turning point, as this has been a very varied album. Are we going to go for something a little bit more chilled now? Let's find out. Zanmu, Ado, All Night Radio. Let's check it out.
1, 2, 4, 2.
It's to do with her radio show. Again, 70s vibes. I wish I could remember the name of the artist that this is reminding me of. But the feel of the music is so comfy and the artwork is so cool. There's something just weirdly warm and comfy about this song immediately. Wait, we're in the back of a panda. Okay. Go with it, go with it. I like that imagery of having the radio on. It's like they're sort of popping through your window almost. Oh, it's catchy already. Second chorus. It's so intuitive. It's so familiar. It's like weirdly comfortable, familiar feeling. I feel like I know it's an original song that I feel like I've heard it a million times before already. There we go. I'm even familiar with her method of counting now. Even though this video's... Oh, I saw the CC. Yeah, I see the CC advert. Even though this advert's all over the place. Sorry, this advert. Even though this CM's all over the place, everything about it just feels very cozy. 3 a.m., eh? Oh, would you know what? Even if that wasn't what I had in mind when I heard the name, which is a bit of a loose thing to try and base your expectations of a song off of, especially when it's by an artist like this who, like all the best artists, doesn't just stick to one sound all the time. You know, this is not what I expected. And yet the funny thing is that for a song called All Night Radio, it actually fits it perfectly. It's kind of got this sort of like a funky but light sound that you can just imagine listening to at night. It's not too much. It's kind of like the song that comes on at the end of the party when everyone's still in a good mood, but like maybe everyone's drunk too much to have the energy to actually be dancing. So this is kind of the song that you can just sort of like sit in your chair bobbing around. Yeah, it's kind of got that vibe. Everyone's still feeling good. Everyone still wants to sort of do something, but starting to feel a little bit of the weight of all of them drinks. Yeah, it's definitely got a really nice, chilled, but also at the same time fun vibe. It is like that fun, chilled, that combination of both being chilled and fun. I think I already described it well enough. That comes across really well in this. And a lot of that is down to the fact that the sound of the song, the basic style of the song, it's very much kind of got. I want to be careful because I'm not usually one to use genre labels too much, so I might misrepresent this. But it's kind of got that sort of 70s soulful funkiness that, the obvious examples you think of things like like Jackson 5 kind of things, but it's much more. There was just this whole sort of era of songs that kind of sounded like this, and I promise I don't know any of the artists well enough to confidently name any of them, because like Jackson 5 actually wasn't a very good example, but like I feel like if I mention an artist I would just be thinking of one song and everyone will know there are other songs that are nothing like that. But you kind of get what I mean. Is that there was that kind of era of 70s sort of chilled out music that was like this sort of funky music that this immediately is very evocative of, and you just immediately know that there's a whole wealth of songs like this out there, and it reminds you of that, and it's that kind of music that you play in those chilled out late night kind of places where you just want, as I say, something that's got a bit of movement, a bit of kinetic energy, but isn't overly taxing, that's kind of smooth as well as being kind of fun. So yeah, this beautifully brings that feeling, that emotion to the forefront. And I think that when it comes to Addo's voice is an interesting fit for this, because usually if I was doing this type of music, even this particular song, I would personally probably go for a singer who has a bit of a lighter voice, a little bit more, I'll say breathy, but just a little bit more chilled, a little bit lighter, so that the allow the instrumental to do a little bit of the funk. So having Addo's voice on this, her voice is probably the only thing that feels a little bit unexpected for what is a rather expected sound, an expected genre. She's the one aspect that sounds a little bit different from what you'd usually expect from this kind of music, because her voice, even when she's singing chilled out like she is here, still has a kind of degree of depth. It's almost like it gives a more intensity to the front half of the song than you'd expect. Does it work? Yes, very much so. I think it works because her voice makes it a little bit different. If she was just kind of like another breathy singer singing in a chilled out way over the song, then I think it would probably sound a little bit too cookie cutter. But her voice gives it just that extra bit of personality that takes it somewhere else. But again, she's using her voice in the appropriate way. She's singing very restrained here with like a little bit of kind of like pushing into the falsetto a little bit there, but it's like not quite. Just everything about it very, very. I see here lyrics and music by someone called Michi M. I'll take a guess it's obviously not a Japanese name. You never know if it's a pseudonym, but I'm going to guess that's not a Japanese person, and therefore it makes me wonder whether there's a little bit of bringing in a bit of international flavour. But yeah, I think that this definitely works as a very nice example of a style that you wouldn't normally expect from Addo, but she's managed to pull it off well. As a song, I would say that it's a good album track. It's not one that I would come back to in isolation. I think what it does is way too familiar. There's way too many other songs like this that do this same thing, at least as well, maybe better. But what this does do is add that particular style into the range of things that Addo has successfully done herself. So if I was looking for this type of music, this wouldn't be the song I would go to. However, if I was listening to an Addo album, as I am here, and I'm looking for variation, I would be very happy for this to come along. And it doesn't feel lacking. That's the most important thing. It doesn't feel lacking. There are more exceptional examples of this genre, but this does not in any way feel like it's lacking. It just feels like Addo's entered a nice, good quality, safe entry into a very familiar sound, and demonstrated that she, as an artist, can do this kind of thing as well. So I enjoyed this. I will also give credit. The video, I love the coloring in the video. I'm more of a music person, but I know what I like when it comes to visuals, even if I'm not so good at articulating it. But I love how you kind of got these sort of like beigey kind of colors here with the dark blue as well. That's a beautiful contrast. And the video itself goes through a range of styles, but it kind of keeps this interesting sort of blue and mustardy, browny, orangey kind of colors vibe going And you know, even this bit where it goes 3D, it keeps, you know, you look at the wall textures and everything, it feels very sort of nostalgic. It's like it's a very much a 70s studio. It almost feels like it could be Grandma's studio. And even when it goes 3D, it manages to keep a little bit of this sort of sparkly look. It manages to maintain same color palette again, but it maintains something of a light magical feel to it. Yeah, great stuff. I really enjoyed that. Does the clock move? It ends at 3 o'clock. Where does it start? Kind of intrigued. Oh, look at that. It starts at 1 o'clock, ends at 3 o'clock. I actually don't know when her radio thing is on, but I wonder if it runs from 1 to 3, because if it does, that would be a nice touch. Anyway, there you go. Those are my thoughts. As always, get in the comments, tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. We'll be obviously doing our usual videos, but we'll also be doing the next one, which is Himawari, when we continue our track by track of Zanmu. So if I see you in any of the videos in the Discord or in that one, until then, and for now, ciao, ciao.